Have you ever had this happen to you when you go to sing a song? Remember those walls I built? Baby, they are tumbling down. They didn't even put up a fight. They didn't even make a sound. They didn't even make a sound. Oh, that's happened to me too many times, and I'm sure it's happened to you too if you're watching this video. So what do we do about it? How do we find those low notes? We're going to look at that in this video. Hello singers, it's Jules here, and today we are talking about the low voice. The first thing we need to know is that we do actually have to warm up the low voice. For a lot of people, this seems to come as a surprise. Most people that come into my studio say, I want to work on my range. But what they really mean is, I want to work on my upper range. They want higher and higher notes. Very few come in and say, I want to be able to sing lower. But it's really important that we do. Why? Well, for one thing, we want to be able to sing those crazy low notes that Beyoncé enjoys so much, that lovely C#3 that we're going to look at today. But also, for the whole range to be good and fit and healthy, we want to look at all areas of it. We want to sing high, low, loud, soft, breathy, clear, the whole range, the 360, as I call it, of the voice. Let's look at how we work down into our lower range. Normally what happens is we sing down as far as we can go, then we get stuck and we give up. We think, that's the bottom of my range, and then we stop trying to go any lower than that. But unless you've spent consistent time working on lower and lower notes with different exercises, you're probably going to be surprised at how low the bottom of your range actually goes. So let's try an exercise today to see what we might find at the bottom. For the upper voices, I tend to start here around the D4. For the lower voices, I tend to start around the D3. Because I have a higher voice, I'm going to do the exercise in the upper octave, but if you want to follow along in the lower one, that's absolutely fine. And I might grab a gentleman another day just to help me with demonstrating those lower ones. We're going to start at the top on a D and work our way down a nice 5-tone scale using a closed mouth hum. Mmm, just like we're saying, mmm, that's really nice. Mmm. Going down in semitones. Mmm. 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 Now, if at this point you're starting to lose tone at the bottom or lose notes altogether, that's fine. We're going to use an exercise to see if it helps us just get a little bit more traction. So we're going to get a shake going on. Mm-hmm. Just like you're revving a motorbike. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Have a go. Mm-hmm. And the next one. Mm-hmm. We're down to that Beyoncé note. Mm-hmm. Keep going if you've got any more. Mm-hmm. A little bit maybe. I'm almost out. Let's have one more just in case you've got it in you. It's pretty fluffy at the bottom. So why are we carrying on when it's no longer a nice sound? Well, if you think, we have a whole range, and then just inside that we have a usable range. So there's always going to be those bits at the outside that actually don't sound very nice, but they are part of the range. And if we don't go there very often, then the usable range gets smaller. Eventually we just kind of get smaller and smaller range. So it's really important that we actually carry on working on the lowest part of our voice, even if it's not very usable. If you're struggling to get down to the lowest notes, I find it's really useful to think about a dumb sound. So the character that I tend to kind of call on is the giant from Jack and the Beanstalk. Fee, fi, fo, fum. Everything's very fluffy. It's not very clear as a sound. It's not very bright. It's quite dark and dumb. So if you can channel your inner giant, sometimes that can really help with those low notes. Fee, fi, fo, fum, fee. Can be a really fun one to play with. If that's not working for you though, sometimes it can be that the dumb and the dark sounds aren't the best way to find your low notes, and this is really common. I find my students tend to kind of be one or the other, about 50-50 actually. Some of them, what they need is more clarity. So if you've been struggling with the exercise we've done so far, let's try it with more clarity. We're going to use a gug. So this is going to be much, much clearer with a lot more adduction, a lot more closure of the vocal folds. We're going to get gug, 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 gug. And I like to do the repetition on the bottom one because it helps us kind of grab at that note a little bit if we didn't get it the first time. Gug, 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 gug. Let's work our way down. Gug, 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 gug. 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 Now, my voice prefers the fluffy one, but I'm going to carry on demonstrating this one for you so you get the idea. Gug, 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 gug. Gug, 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 gug. Gug, 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 gug. There we go, that's not too bad. Gug, 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 gug. Almost on that B flat. Wherever you get to is absolutely fine. I'm demonstrating lower than my voice can really go, so you get the idea that it's totally okay for those notes to sound really weird. Just keep going as long as you can go, and if it's lower than I got to, then please carry on. I know plenty of singers who can get a bit lower than that. The final sound I like to try if the hum isn't working and the gug isn't working is bum. Yes, I know. I have students who love this exercise. The kids love it. They think it's hilarious. But I also had a retired student who fell about when I gave her this exercise. She thought it was brilliant. So we're never too old to enjoy the silly sounds. Let's have a go. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. And it's important to keep the sound forward, so you're looking to keep it where the B is at the front of the mouth. Bum, 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 bum. 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 Almost. Bum, 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 bum. This isn't my favourite exercise, but if it's working for you, keep going. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Not really there. One more. Bum, 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 bum. Nothing for me. So you can see how every exercise is different for a different voice. Use the one that works best for you. Some days it might be different, but don't feel like if an exercise isn't working that it's you. It's normally the exercise. I say to my students all the time, if something isn't working, it means you have the wrong tool for the job. Okay, so those are some of the exercises I use with my students to help them access and develop their low voice. But let's see if it's worked for me. Remember those walls I built? Baby, they are tumbling down. We didn't even put up a fight. They didn't even make a sound. There we go. So some low voice exercises can really help you access parts of your voice that you just didn't think were there. And it's so exciting because it opens up some really cool repertoire. I have one last tip for you when it comes to low voice, and that is set order. It's not something we talk about nearly enough, but when you're putting together songs in order for a gig, the journey that our voice goes on is really important to consider. You don't want to be doing low notes right at the end of your set because your vocal folds would have been put under lots of tension and pressure throughout with all those really cool sounds you're making, and it's going to be harder to get them to relax off to get those low sounds. So if you have to sing this, say, Beyoncé Halo track, you want to be making sure that you're doing it early in the set when your voice is at its most relaxed. That's everything I've got for you today about low voice, but if you want to know more, you can come along and book a free consultation with me at julespitcher.com. Let's get singing.